What's going on? Hey, everybody. Those that are listening in, that are already in the chat, appreciate you coming by. What's going on? Don Jose, I see you in the chat. Our elder, always supporting. Greatly appreciated. I also see Titi Yuyu. What's going on, chica? Todo bien? What's happening on this this unfortunately is another one of my impromptu live streams because I wasn't thinking about doing one tonight. I wasn't feeling that well, but I didn't do one last week. And I didn't necessarily had a subject. I have been dealing with some personal stuff. I didn't have a subject tonight either, but I figured, let me just jump on at least for a few minutes. Whatever goes, goes. It could be good, kind of like an exercise, not having a script. I have to, I have to get into the practice of actually having a script, of actually having an idea of what to talk about. Um, it's just that okay. If I'm not working, I kind of that tend to get a little disconnected from things. So that's why I'm making it a like an open thing tonight. So whatever comment, anything that's within reason, anything that is current within reason, we can talk about it. Whatever it is. I know that many things have been happening lately. This is an election year, and I don't wanna take from, let's say, something like Armando was saying in his stream, because he was doing a stream earlier, but I couldn't join in, and he was mentioning about uh, the whole thing with the political campaigning and all of these cases, all of these things that are being debated in court, the different things. What's going on right now. We can talk about it in a neutral manner because I'm not having any preference. If I were to vote, I don't know. I actually don't know who I'm voting for because it's establishment versus not somebody who is actually revolutionary. Because this certain somebody is being like a troublemaker and not for the better. Because so sometimes you can stir things up, shake the table, so to speak. It can be for the better, but it's not being done for the better. I mean, we can get into that in a neutral manner because I'm not showing any preference. I mean, uh, Biden's been in political office since before I was even born, so that should tell you something about how corrupt he also must be. He presents the better image. He does. I'll give it that. But when it comes to Trump, look at all the issues that he's having, and what something that Armando was asking about whether he was kind of like a cold leader to a degree he is, because a lot of the talking points that for his followers are easily debunked. But I'm gonna go into the comment about what TTUU is asking when it comes to TikTok. Well, when it comes to the ban on TikTok, I'll tell you what I reckon, what I gather. This is me off the top of my head because I haven't done the research per se. TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, and it has gone on to become like the most downloaded in the last few years. In the last couple of years, it has become the most downloaded app in the world. Now the thing is that it is a platform, like I said, that is owned by a Chinese company. China is not the kind of country that you want to be posting all of your info and all of your business about. That's not that type of platform. Maybe you can use it um, to follow up on things and what is being said, but too many people are posting too much personal stuff on it, and they boast. I think it was one of the board members or the CEO or something like that made a video talking about that, boasting about how TikTok has become a platform that has like 170 something million subscribers. and people that have downloaded the app, that are users of the app, that are using it on the daily, right? And that's in the United States, in the United States alone, because the people from all over the world use the app too, of course. But I'm talking about, from my understanding, just in the United States, TikTok has like 177 million subscribers, something like that. I don't know the exact number. Now, when it comes uh, to it being banned, I can understand. I can understand why. I can understand why, because um that again, the platform belongs to a Chinese company, and they could be doing major compilation of data about people here in the states that could pose as a security threat and things like that. And that could very well be connected to the Chinese government easily, because a lot of things and major companies, things like that, are government owned, government run. So the parent company of TikTok could very well be part of the Chinese government very easily. I don't think it might be. It might be. I don't know that for certain, but it could very well be. Hey, Armando. Hey, what's going on? Well, yeah, the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. That could very well be the one that the parent company of TikTok. Now, what is being requested, what is being requested by the government here is that the Chinese company that owns TikTok sells off all of its assets, all of the ownership stake in the company, that it become like a privately owned or independently owned, that is not connected to the government, and that only giving the company like 6 months to do that. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I'm finding that a little bit unlikely, but I don't know. So we will see what happens with that. It is it is kind of like what is being talked about. Many people use the platform. Many people like the platform. That is okay. Um, but uh, it being banned in the United States, at least we're not gonna have to deal with all of the trauma dumping that a lot of people that do on TikTok. That they get on TikTok to cry about things. Like, all right, let's see. Okay, all companies registered under the CCP. No company in China is independently owned. All Chinese-led companies have to go through the CCP. Right. Yeah. I have done a little bit of reading about that, and yeah, that's part of it. Everything go through the government, and you can only imagine how bureaucratic it must be, how inefficient it must be, uh, how gigantic the government is, because people over here complain about big government, and but yeah, the Chinese government is like really big, because it has its hands on everything, just about everything. It's very little that people can do like independently, and it is with the permission of the government, the way that things work over there. Okay. Alright. Let me try something really quick. All right. Phil companies, Jack Ma and TikTok, Huawei, all CCP control. Jack Ma, I haven't heard from him in a while. Isn't he the guy from Alibaba? Or does he do something else? I don't recall right now. I know Jack Ma is a big businessman, but I haven't heard from him in a while. I don't know what happened with him. Let's see if I can struggle streaming a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I hope that silencing doesn't mean that he lost his life. Hopefully, that's not what it means. Okay. Let me do something really quick. I'm trying to do something, but as usual. Oh, okay. All right. Let me put this down. Hey, Irby. Hey, what's happening? Xi Jinping isn't playing games. Yeah, he's one of Trump's heroes. Uh oh. Okay. Just dropping that there. Silencing mean they crack down so he's still alive. Okay, okay. Yeah, but limiting his freedom of movement. Well, there is no freedom over there, but what he can say, what he can do. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna bring up a panelist. What's going on, Jose?
Good evening, Ramon. It is now 278 days until the first day of winter.
Ah, no. Jose, don't start. We haven't gotten out of this winter. We're barely into the spring, into springtime, and you're already talking about um the next winter. Like, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that to me.
Well,
And
I have to do that, but seriously speaking, um, I did a stream earlier tonight regarding TikTok and the
yes.
so-called ban, and I have a lot of issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
With the
okay,
ban or with TikTok itself?
the ban,
Okay. What
and I'm
what
going
is
to
it? What's going on?
okay. First of all, if we're talking about having data being acquired, we have companies that take our own personal data and selling it to other companies to begin with. Okay, so number one, number two. To me, this is censorship because if they can do this with TikTok, they can easily do this with YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and what have you. Okay, and what I find bizarre is that Congress cannot get together uh, to end the gun violence here in the United States. They cannot get together to provide relief for student loan debt. They cannot get together to try to deal with the situation with the migrant situation. But or
Mm-hmm.
they can, but yeah, they can get together to ban a platform where it's highly popular and millions of young people actually use it, and actually you have people that actually make a living off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to data, one thing you have to understand is that you determine what gets aired on TikTok, just like any
Mhm.
other platform. Okay. Because
Yeah.
once it gets on social media, it's there forever. Even if you delete it, people can still take screenshots and they can air whatever, the screenshots of whatever is your content. So to me, it's an issue of censorship. And actually, the first panel I did was whether or not there was censorship in TikTok.
Mhm.
I mean, in YouTube.
Yeah. 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 No, no, I get it. I get it. I mean, for the most part, when it comes to TikTok, I only use it to keep to keep track of certain things when I have a chance to listen in, because there are always a lot of live streams going on, or whatever the subject. There is always somebody. It's not too hard to find live streams about different subjects, whether it is political or geopolitical. Like, for example, I have come across live streams in which, um, in the Caribbean, the situation with IT, was going on there. I mean, there are live streams in which I hear it. Dominicans and Haitians going at it, arguing, and yeah, it's not looking too good. I mean, it's just it's like the whole thing with Jean Bertrand Aristide and Papa Doc before him. It's like the same thing over and over. There is always some invasion. There is always some revolt. There is always some overthrowing of the government. The United States have to come in and get somebody out. This time, apparently, they arrested the prime minister. I don't know why the FBI has to be involved in that, because this is an international issue. So that should be a different part of the government. Um, but it's always some problem with corruption over there, and it's like, but I'm sure that the CIA may have something to do with it, because I mean, they create the problem and then they try to sell the solution. They do that all over the planet.
Hmm.
That's an example. That's an example. I'm
Yeah.
not. I don't want to stay on that, but it's still a developing story, because apparently there is now the allegation that the prime minister was arrested, but I don't know why the FBI will be doing that. I mean, they're not supposed to operate outside of the borders. Yeah. So
Hmm.
I don't know what's that about.
Yeah, that would be interesting indeed. So, but
But
as
I
far
don't.
as
I
but
don't
as
know.
far as the presidential election, um, to me, this is like the battle of two grumpy old men.
Yeah.
You have Biden, who is 80 years old, okay, which unfortunately he's gotten, he is slow because of his age. And then you have on the other side of the coin, you have Donald Trump that is being delusional and still has not accepted the fact that he lost the 2020 election. Not to mention all the charges laid against him, which is like 91 charges, and the fact that he's lost certain lawsuits and he owes like hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, it's like you have a choice between a senile old man and a deranged
Hmm. Hmm.
individual, which of course we all know he's innocent until proven guilty.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, no, I'll give you that whole thing about Joe Biden being too old at times. I'm watching it and I'm just waiting for the moment where he might fall asleep at the podium or something while giving a speech, and I'm like, okay, because his eyes already look like they're halfway closed, like he might go unconscious or keel over right then and there. So it does worry me a little bit, but I'm sure that he's getting medical checkups, and it being part of the job. Yeah.
Well, just
But,
remember, folks, if anything happens to him, Kamala Harris becomes president.
yeah, yeah. Well, she will have to be sworn in. Yeah, yeah. Armando, I didn't know. I didn't know. I get it. I get it. Because of Puerto Rico it being still being in jurisdiction, but I didn't know that the prime minister was in Puerto Rico. I mean, was he arrested there, or did they take him there? Because if he was taken there, then that shouldn't be the FBI that should be doing that. It will be something with the CIA or the EEA if there is something that has to do with drugs. If it's
Mhm,
something had to do with illicit substances, with some of that, those get to the island, those get to my island. I'll give you that. It's been happening for a long time. It comes from different places, whatever that is, and authorities are somewhat lax in
mhm.
clamping that down. Yeah.
I also share the stream on my community tab tonight.
You put the stream on your tab.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you, appreciate it.
sure.
Armando, I remember reading something about that because the first lady, she got shot too, and she had to be taken to Miami. I understand, so she could be treated for her wounds. But I remember that there was an indictment. That there was an indictment placed on the first lady because of she conspired to have her husband taken out. I did read something about that. I don't know if the indictment was legit. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. From somebody corrupt trying to indict somebody for trying to have her own husband taken out. Yeah, it doesn't seem very legit. So again, this is a developing story. This is a developing situation. Let's see where this goes. I
Mhm,
mean, but again, this is another thing about creating a problem and then offering the solution. Because if we go back to when President Moise was taken out, um, they caught the perpetrators. They did caught them, and two of them were Haitian Americans. So they must have had some CIA training and military training and things like that. So, oh yeah, yeah, a lot of people have forgotten about that. The rest of the guys were Colombian, but two of them were Haitian American. Yeah, they could have been sent by working by for the CIA. Hmm.
mhm.
You were saying, Jose. I just needed to put that in.
Yeah. But you know something? One thing I said before, and I'm going to say it again. No one, and I repeat, no one over the age of 60 should be running for political office.
Yeah.
I believe that because the problem is, as you get older, of course, your faculties decline. And we're talking about Biden, who is 80 years old, and Donald Trump, that's 78. Okay. And also, another problem is when you have these people who've been in politics for a long time, they lose touch as far as what's of the concerns of their constituents. And plus, how are we going to get new ideas if we keep electing these old people all the time?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
And again, the only solution to all this is we need to have a viable third party option. Okay. The problem is both parties will never allow it to happen because that means there'll be more competition. And that means that um, the sheep will not blindly follow whatever party, whether it be Democrat or Republican.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna share with you a quick
Mhm.
list. Uh, Let me share this with you. Okay, this is a list of the different U.S. presidents. Now we have here. Let me see. Okay, we have the from the first president, George Washington. He became president when he was in his late 50s. I mean, he was only just a few days after turning 57 years old. And he was there apparently for 8 years. He was president for 8 years, by the time he left office, he was 65. So he wasn't even that old yet. So he was, yeah, he was in his later years, but not that old. And that goes. Now we have John Adams, who became president at 61, and he did apparently one term at 65. He was at 65 when he left office. Now, from then on, you see the next three presidents from Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, they were about the same age. As you can see, they were about the same age. And John Quincy Adams, they were about the same age when they became president. That was the average seems to be 57 years old, give or take a year. Because you see, Thomas Jefferson became president at 57, James Madison became president at 57, Monroe became president at 58, Quincy Adams at 57 again. You see, that's kind of like the average so far. But we keep going. Jackson, Van Buren, Henry Harrison. Their ages are more, are more reasonable. I mean, there are 50 that range from between 57 to 61 years old. Van Buren was younger at 54. Harrison, William Henry Harrison, he was already pushing 70. He was already pushing 70 when he became, but he didn't, but he only lasted for a few days. He was 68, but apparently he died shortly after. I don't know what happened. Henry Harrison. I don't. Yeah. I'm looking at it. It says 68, 23 days, and at the age of presidency. But it doesn't say that he died. Oh, did he die? Did he pass away?
Actually,
Yeah.
he
Okay. Yeah. Apparently, he passed away. Okay. Yeah, he was only president for a few days. Okay, we had. You were saying? You were saying?
he was only president for about a month. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's why it says post presidency time span 0 days. That is because of that.
Yeah.
He
And
passed away just a few days after becoming taking office. Oh, I will have to read as to what happened to him.
and
Mhm.
just for fun fact, his speech was one of the longest in history in
And
recorded
that was
history.
in the cold. He did the speech in the cold, right?
Yeah, he did the speech when it was slightly chilly.
Oh, that means that it was freezing cold. Yeah, I understand that that's what took him out. Because he took so long for to give his speech, and he was doing the speech, breathing all that cold ass air. That's what took him out. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And this is a white man. This is
Okay,
a white man.
so
White people are supposed to be more cold resistant.
so
And look at what happened to him.
so
And you
explain
want me to deal with that cold weather? No, can't
so
do it.
explain to me how can I love cold weather and it doesn't bother me.
Well, you have evolved apparently. You have mutated. Because somebody like you are not supposed to be into the cold like that. You have
And
apparently mutated to be more cold resistant.
actually, Ramon, There's healing power in cold.
What?
Healing power in cold.
Okay. Okay. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Yeah. Hey,
In
what's
fact,
happening, Johnny? What's
in
going on,
fact,
man?
if I was president, you know what would be my campaign slogan? Make
Mhm.
America cold again.
Okay. All right. So, looking at this, so this is kind of like an example of how it is when it comes to the years of presidents when they take office. But yeah, Henry Harrison messed up. He should have kept it quick. Now we go down the list. The ages are a little bit more reasonable. Nobody is in their late 70s trying to run for president. We got Franklin Pierce, who was actually only 48. He was only 48, young man,
Yes, but
and
unfortunately,
served one term.
yeah, unfortunately, he had a problem with alcohol.
Oh, uh,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
and one thing we have to bear in mind that um, in 19th century United
Hmm.
States,
Hmm.
a person in their 50s was like a
Was cool.
person in their 70s today.
Okay. Yeah, but you know what? But that's the thing. That's the thing. Weren't humans supposed to be stronger and live longer? You see, it's a little bit contradictory. But okay,
Okay, but you know what happened was medicine was not as advanced as it is now,
no, no, it wasn't. Maybe those days hygiene wasn't that encouraged either.
which is why we need cold weather because it
No, no. We need heat and we need bathing. Bathing. That's what helps. Cleanliness. Isn't cleanliness next to godliness? Isn't
yes.
like? I mean, I'm not religious, and I still know that because I agree. Okay, so
Uh,
Grant, Lisa says Grant, young man when he took up office, and apparently he did 2 terms. Um, Hayes in his 50s, Garfield in his 40s, 50s, 40s, relatively young. Theodore Roosevelt, okay, he was only 42. Didn't know that. Was I'm on the younger one. Okay, Theodore Roosevelt. I confused these two. I confused Theodore with Franklin because their last name is Roosevelt.
well, actually, I think they're distant cousins.
Yeah, okay, okay, yeah, figures that they will be related. Eisenhower, Herbert Hoover, 54, Roosevelt, 51, Truman, 60 years, 62 years. Kennedy was only 43. But yeah, it only, we know what happened with him.
Yeah, and this is
And,
a fun fact regarding Eisenhower. He actually had a heart attack during his time in the White House.
okay, okay. Right. Okay. Then Johnson, who succeeded him, and Nixon, who we know what happened with him,
Hmm.
and Ford, who succeeded him by default, and Jimmy Carter, yeah, and Reagan. That I was around back then. Jimmy Carter, I don't remember the Carter presidency because that was in still in the 70s, so I was a baby, so I don't remember.
Okay,
But Reagan, I had to remember. I remember um, particularly the whole Iran Contra scandal. I'm sure you you heard of that.
yeah.
That a lot of people forgot about that, and he wasn't held accountable for it. Yeah, look it up.
Well,
Anybody who hasn't heard of that, if you're listening, look up the Iran Contra scandal back in the 80s. Yep, and
well, this is
he's so
yeah.
revered by the Republicans, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, just to give you an idea, in the 1984 election, Reagan won with a total number of 525 electoral votes, and Walter Mondale only got 13.
Mm. But was he an independent?
He was a Democrat.
Oh, okay, okay. Wow, wow. Didn't know.
Yep.
And yeah, that's quite overwhelming, actually. Never heard of that many electoral votes. Okay, so it was Ronald Reagan, and then we have George Bush Senior. He only served
Mhm.
one term, but in his term, that was when Desert Storm happened, and it surprised me. It surprises me that he didn't get reelected because of that, because that was such a success, and that was and it was a quick one, which is good. I mean, a war that can be resolved quickly. Those are yeah, that's the way it should be. Not something that is prolonged for years and years,
Well,
and ended up losing the reelection to Bill Clinton.
part of the reason was the economy went down the drain under his watch, and he was held responsible.
I wouldn't hold. Okay. But you're not taking into consideration the previous 8 years with Reagan. I mean, that's when the whole thing about sending jobs outside of the country. That's when that really took over. It started. Nixon started laying down the foundation on that when he started having diplomatic relations with the Chinese. He was the one who bragged. He bragged endlessly about how he was able to open up China, and that's what that started. And later in the 80s, then all of the jobs, all of the positions, all of the manufacturing started going there. So I mean, and he was quite proud of it too,
Mhm.
and lost the election to Bill Clinton. He was only 46, served the 2 terms, followed by Bush Jr. He was already in his 50s.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he was infamous. Uh, Dark era,
Well,
unnecessary war, uh,
well,
and big expansion of the government. The Republicans are always talking about that they're the party of small government, but the government ballooned during that administration.
well. He also coined the phrase "compassionate conservatism."
Compassioning against who exactly? Because it was a disaster in Iraq and Afghanistan. It was a disaster. Okay, blame Joe Biden for pulling out all you want, but that was already years of this. It was a disaster trying to win a war in Afghanistan. Nobody wins in Afghanistan. Uh, Followed
Mhm.
by Barack Obama. He was only 47. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. He went in with dark hair, came out of it with gray hair.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
uh, because you know what it is. It will age you, particularly in
yeah.
those
Because
first
of
8 years.
right, that's why I'm. That's why it can be a little worrisome for these candidates now. I mean, because Trump, okay, Trump is younger, but he's starting to have some of the same symptoms. I mean, he's starting to kind of like not being able to pronounce certain words, and he's kind of like showing his age too. It's starting to affect him because he's pushing 80 himself. Okay.
Well, he's
Yeah.
78.
Right. Right. So it's not like he's so much younger. If there was like a 10-year difference, then I wouldn't be saying anything. Yeah, that is a significant age difference, and Trump will be seen as more fit to be president. But he's only younger by like what, 3 years or so?
I think
Only about
so.
3 years. Uh-huh. And Trump was already 70. He was like one of the old. older ones next to Ronald Reagan. And which one was it? Uh, yeah, Roosevelt was the one that was elected 4 times, I understand, but he didn't
Yeah, but
survive.
he didn't complete his fourth term because he passed away
Yeah,
about 5 6 months after he got elected the fourth time.
right. And he wasn't even that old, 63 years. He wasn't even that old, but
Yeah, but
he,
he was but during the last years he was very sickly.
yeah, okay. 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 So, yeah, Joe Biden, 70. Yes, Biden is 78 years.
Mm,
Well, no, not now. He was when he started the presidency, 78 years. He's 81 now. And
yeah.
yeah, he's the oldest. He's the oldest motherfucker in office. Well, and yeah, something could happen to him at any time, and he could end up killing over. Hmm. So
Mm,
let me stop this. All right. So yeah. It's only been in the last couple of presidents the ones that happen to be among the oldest ones.
yeah.
That's what it seems. Okay. So between Biden and Trump, who did more coke behind the scenes during the 70s and 80s? Well, I mean, uh, let's just say that okay, you can the Republicans can go on and on about Clinton visiting Epstein Island. Yeah, but there are pictures of Trump there too. He was. I understand that he was on that list too. I have seen pictures of him hanging out with Epstein. So there must have been some of that going on there too. And yeah, it was the 70s. I'm always hearing about how the 70s was debauchery. Like, like you will see in I don't know, like in movies like Boogie Nights that kind of portray kind of how it was back then, how how it was when it comes to society back in those days. Oh yeah. Well, how much they must have done partying hard the way that they partied back then. Today it's just stupid kids taking ecstasy or taking in lean, but back then it was like snorting a little something something. Yeah, and the whole swinger thing. I understand that that was a common thing back then. The whole swinger thing. Hmm.
Interesting. But like I said before, when we take a look at the 19th century, we have to understand that the lifespan was shorter.
Hmm. Yeah.
So now now if if you maintain a healthy diet, you exercise and things of that nature, you can live to be anywhere from 70 to 80 years old.
Hmm. Well, that's good.
Yeah. And
That,
then there are those that live to be, it can live to be 90 and a couple even as much as 100, but those are very few.
well, yeah. Yeah, I have been doing I have been doing some reading, and human beings are supposed to it's supposed to be normal for a human being to be able to live until about 120. That's supposed to be more normal, and there are people that do get there, but there are very few. There are very few. You can look it up. People that live past 100, maybe they do, but they are all but maybe they not necessarily are at their healthiest. Maybe they are dealing with a lot of ailments. They do live past 100,
Hmm.
and bless them for it. But Hopefully, they're not in pain or suffering because of ailments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I don't want to live to be 100 years old, but I do want to live a healthier life, and by eating, healthy, getting exercises, being blessed with a nice cold winter. I mean, I'll be
Hmm.
around for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only elder in my family that I have remaining is my aunt, and she's 75, and I'm hoping for her that she can live much longer than that, many more years after that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it all depends whether she maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's uh, uh, last time I saw her, it was recently. I had to make a quick visit to the island, and I had a chance to see her, but I couldn't do a lot. She seemed to be very sharp. She seemed to be very sharp as a razor. Her mind, that's great. That's important, and you can ask her about anything from like 20, 30 years ago, and she's gonna remember that. Just like my dad, he last time I talked to him, he was telling me things about when he was a little boy, and he should be pushing 70 himself. I mean, he was about the same age as mom, and mom also, she didn't have any mental issues. It was all physical. Unfortunately, what took her life, it was all physical. But even in her last days, her mind was there, sharp, very sharp. So yeah. Hmm. Yeah, but my aunt is the one that is still alive, and
Mhm.
hopefully I can see her again soon, when
Yeah.
I go to the island. Hmm.
Well, I'll be 62 years old this October.
Okay, all right, good. Yeah, a strong 60, 62. You're gonna live a long time.
Well, with God's help, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're gonna live until 110.
I don't know about the 110, but I would definitely want to
Mhm.
live at least you know, at least 80, maybe 90, 85.
Yeah, yeah. All right, good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Because, one has to be realistic regarding how, and I know that I have limitations as far as what I can do.
Okay. Ah, you turn 41. Yeah, yeah. You still a kid. I know what Shenyun is, and there is they do that over here too. They do Shenyun, but if I were to go, I would have to go with somebody. I don't. I'm not trying to go to that by myself. Yeah, when I have a chance, I'll take somebody to that. Yeah, it looks interesting. Shenyun. It looks interesting because it's kind of like a Chinese ballet that kind of like it sums up the history, Chinese history in a ballet. It looks interesting. It looks like a great production. I see advertisements for that all the time. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
Hmm. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, of course, I'm scheduled to have a procedure done the end of June,
Mm-hmm.
which is a total knee replacement.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah. So so what I'm doing is I'm taking a look at facilities in the event that I'm gonna have to do inpatient rehab, so I can say, look, if you're gonna send me there, I like to take a look, go to this facility or this facility. This
Mm-hmm.
is something that I didn't do when I had my left knee done, so I decided, what, let me be proactive and take a look at what's there as far as um, inpatient facilities for rehab.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. Okay.
you know,
Yeah, yeah. I'm dealing with doctors myself because I'm trying to get this procedure done. I have an hernia. It's on my lower back. Is another bulging disc. It's not the first one, so I'm trying to get doctors to kind of like agree that it needs to be operated on. They're trying to send me to physical therapy. Physical therapy doesn't cure a hernia. I know from experience, so I'm dealing with that. I'm trying to get past the minor treatments that are not gonna work. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to get a second opinion to see if I can that can speed up the process. Hmm. That's what I'm thinking
yeah.
about.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, just I'm sure I'm sure that you'll be all right, and just make sure do your due diligence and things of that nature.
yeah.
I know I'm going to be away from work for about 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. No, definitely, definitely. The recovery time is gonna be just um don't overexert yourself and do the therapy as as soon as it is recommended.
Yeah, I know if the procedure is done in the morning, by the afternoon I'll be walking with assistance.
Mama San, yeah, right. Never heard of such a thing. Mama San can cure hernia. Right, right. Okay. I know what you mean, but nah, I don't. I wouldn't bet on that.
Okay, but you know what you need to do? Expose yourself to a nice cold wintry day.
Uh, uh, no, I don't want. I don't want what happened to that president to happen to me because that has to be what messed him up.
No, that
Yeah.
wasn't. No, believe it or not, it was not the cold. It,
Yeah. Sure.
it was the germs that were out there.
The germs. But you said that in the cold, the germs become inactive, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it wasn't a cold. It wasn't really a cold day because if it was a cold day, he wouldn't gotten sick.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right.
I mean,
If
look
you
at me.
say
I
so.
don't get. I mean, look at me. I don't get sick in the wintertime.
Well, not you, because you have mutated. Okay, so Don Armando, you're talking about thermal springs, right? In Puerto Rico, there are thermal springs. I guess I'm gonna have to try that. Yeah, yeah. In Puerto Rico, there are thermal springs there. Hmm.
Hmm. Interesting,
Yep.
but hmm. As right now as we speak, it's 39 degrees in New York, so it's a spring night.
Ugh, yeah. Ugh, so cold. Ugh. I will be all bundled up with two jackets on.
No, in
No,
fact,
maybe not two. No, maybe not two jackets, but I'll definitely be covering my nose so I don't breathe that cold ass air and I don't raise a
oh,
cold.
come on now. In fact, you can go outside with your coat unbuttoned, without a hat, and just embrace the cool weather.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Mhm. All right.
Well, tomorrow is the first day of spring.
Well, good, good. It needs to start warming up.
Well, you
I
know
need for it
what?
to start warming up so I can feel okay.
Well, you know what? What also starts tomorrow. My countdown until the first day of winter.
I You're obsessed. You're obsessed with that with the cold. No, 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 thanks.
Well, considering we had no cold weather this year.
Mm, mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
remember my definition of cold is different from everybody else's.
Okay.
But
Yeah, Armando said never date a Russian or a fighty then. A Russian, a fighty Latina will keep you warm. Okay, how do you know that Russian women can be fiery? Well, I've never dated one, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't think
well,
a
I
Russian
I
woman
never
would be
dated
all
a
over that.
A Russian either, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. Upstate Philadelphia. Todo frío. I can imagine. I can imagine in Philadelphia they do get blizzards over there. Jose, you should move there. they got all, they got blizzards. They be sitting in a blizzard during a football game.
Well, I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine you lying down on the floor, moving your
No.
arms and legs, and making snow angels?
Uh-uh. No. Not interested.
Or if you really want to have some summertime fun, you can go to Orchard Beach and you can swim in the.
No thanks. No, I don't want to go to no Chocha Beach. No thanks.
I
No
mean,
thanks.
come on. I mean, Orchard Beach is the French Riviera of the Bronx.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So you say. I know better. I know better.
Okay, and of course the sub, of course, we do have a slight mousy problem in New York.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're talking about those big possum looking things that can steal your pizza. No, nah. Thankfully, when I visited Manhattan, I didn't see anything like that. But it was because there were so many people that kept the rats away. I'm sure that when they go away, they start coming out and terrorize whoever is that.
I
Whoever is
mean, come
that.
on, they're more scared of us than we are of them.
Hmm.
But would you believe I actually saw one rat in Rochester?
You're telling me that in your whole time there, all your years there, you have only seen one rat total? Really?
Yes.
Stop. Okay, Armando, you're you're saying that a friend of yours died at Chocha Beach? Ah, sorry to hear that, man. I'm definitely not touching that water.
Maybe the person drowned.
Uh, uh, Drowning that sewer water over there? Ugh. Rats scared of Asians in NYC. The fuck out of here, rats! Asians, Asians eating rats because the I know that there is a reputation of them eating dogs. And it's not just the Chinese. I understand that the Koreans have been doing that also for a long time.
Yeah. But I mean, look, I mean, think about it. If you want to go to a beautiful beach and you don't have to want to go far, you can go to Orchard Beach in the Bronx, or you can go to Coney Island or Brighton Beach
Mm-mm.
in Brooklyn, or you can go to Reese Beach in Queens.
Mm. Ugh. Ugh. It makes me gag. They eat rats too. Ugh. Ugh. I can only imagine. Yeah. Nah. No thanks.
Well,
No,
uh,
yeah, but what you're saying, I'm not interested. No.
think about it. Or you can allow yourself to be buried in the sand.
In what sense? What sense?
This sand over there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Florida is better. Florida is better, Don Armando, but not that much better. It doesn't compare to the islands. And you know it. You know it. You have traveled. You know it. It doesn't compare because the down there in South Beach that is so famous or infamous, depending on how you look at. Um, that the beach isn't really all that. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah.
I know, but you see, that's the beauty part. You don't have to even have to go to Florida. You can come to New York and experience the beaches of New York.
No, no thanks. No thanks. I don't know how people go to Coney Island and get in that water. Ugh.
Easy. They just dip in and just swim.
Hmm. No, no thanks.
I mean, just think about it. It's a nice hot. It's a summer day. You go to Orchard Beach, and then you go into the ocean and you swim in that pristine water, and then you see the white sand out there next nearby. I see Denise is in the chat. Good evening, Denise.
Hey, Denise, what's going on? Hey.
Mhm. But now, does Texas have beaches?
There is the Galveston area. Galveston is kind of like an island that is connected to the state, and there is something that looks like a beach because I looked at the pictures. There is something that looks like a beach, but the water doesn't look very appealing. So I haven't been there. I haven't
Yeah,
gone there. I haven't been there. I guess I will have to look at it myself. I will have to travel down there. But
okay.
yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. Well, que Dios te bendiga, hija. But well, that's why you should go to Orchard Beach in the summertime and experience a real, honest to goodness New York beach.
The what? I didn't see.
I say you should go to Orchard Beach and experience an honest to goodness New York
Uh-uh.
beach.
All right. All right. So you say. So you say.
Well, you gotta admit, there's no beach like a New York beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and that's this thing. You can actually tell your people that you went to Orchard Beach and you swam.
They're gonna be looking at me if I'm not sick or something. All right. Okay.
Or if you want to be really bold, you can go to Times Square on New Year's Eve and watch the ball drop.
No. No. No.
I mean, just
No.
think about it. You're standing there 5, 6, 7 hours, okay, waiting for the ball to drop, and then getting hugged and kissed by strangers.
Mm-hmm. Uh, depends on the stranger. Yeah. Nah. Well.
And then you can top it up by going to Coney Island with the Polar Bear Club and start swimming.
Yeah, that's your club. That's your club. You can go to that club. That's your thing. Oh man. So Don Jose, anything
Yes.
else that you have in mind? Because I'm kind of preparing to wrap up. I don't want to
Well,
go
you
too
know
late.
what? Well, you know
Mhm.
what? It's good that we had this short stream, and the thing is, when it comes to politics, I mean, with the type of people that we have to choose on, it could be kind of discouraging.
Mhm.
Um, you know, but I think when it comes to like politics, I mean, where it really counts, when it comes to our local elections, we have more of a direct you know influence regarding that. Um, and of course, when it comes to TikTok, I don't think it's going to be bad. Um, I just don't see it because I think if they ban TikTok, they can just as easily ban some of the other platforms. And where would we go? I mean, and and I get it. With when it comes to social media, um, you can use it for good. You can use it for ill. It all depends how you choose to use it.
Yes, yes, yeah. That whole thing you were talking about. I know in your stream you were mentioning TikTok, but I mentioned just what I know, that something about a resolution in the House about giving the parent company of TikTok like 6 months to sell its asset, the ownership stake on it, and
Yeah,
let it
and
be owned
yeah, and
by some other company, something else, or else it's gonna be banned in the United States.
yeah,
It doesn't make much of a difference to me. I mean, because I'm sure that you can ban TikTok and a replacement or something that is gonna do the same thing is gonna pop up, gonna come out of nowhere. You'll see. So
and
I'm just indifferent to that. I don't care too
and
much.
I think what's going to happen is I think such a ban would be ruled unconstitutional in the Supreme Court.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
Okay.
and again, if I mean, and again, I mean, we have companies that are actually taking our data and selling
Mhm.
it to other companies.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, there are you have to be careful, particularly like when with Facebook. I barely use Facebook anymore. Um, and but TikTok is kind of like a more direct to path to whatever compilation data compilation they might be doing in China. It's like a direct path. It's a direct highway of data from people. So that's what I will be. That's something that I will also be concerned about. So if it gets banned, it's not likely, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. This
Yeah.
is a developing thing too.
Well,
And Don Armando said, "Thank goodness that Washington Heights Wookie isn't here." Aye. You two need to meet and resolve that beef. You need to squash that. I mean, it's been
um,
going on for too long.
but something, I have a feeling that's going to be an ongoing issue. Um, and it's for, for whatever reason. Um, and in all fairness, I only spoke with her only once. So
Hmm. Okay. No, no. She comes by and trolls a little bit, but I welcome the trolling because it's not something that can't be debunked. So it's okay. Uh, ban TikTok, you say? I'm kind of indifferent. I'm kind of indifferent to it because I don't really use it like that. Now, there are certain live streams that I do come across that are useful to keep up with some information, the things that they talk about, and debates, live streams, things like that do happen on TikTok. Unfortunately, they don't stay on. They only happen when when it's live, but when the lives end, it ends. You can't uh, watch watch a replay, a playback of it.
hmm
But aside from that, that's like kind of like the only thing. Kind of like to look into things, coming across certain content creators that might be into a certain subject that you are interested. There is a lot of that. So that's the only thing that I will be worried about. Not so much me not being able to post on TikTok. I don't really post anything. I just follow people or uh you don't want peace with a fairy tale. Okay. But yeah, I would like to I would like to see what happens. I would like to see what happens with that. So with that say, Don Jose, our elder, any last words?
well, as always, thank you for allowing me on your platform. And I just want to encourage anyone who has not subscribed to your channel to please do so. You do create a lot of great content. Of course, not as frequent as I do, but you do create a lot of great content, and it's something for us to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, when it comes to politics, I mean, we have to make do with what's what's available as far as the candidates is concerned. And I think the key is just to be mindful, you know, that there's certain areas where our vote does count, and when it comes to social media, I mean, we have to be careful what we air, because whatever
Right.
we air stays permanent. So, with that,
Yes.
that's all I'm gonna say about it. And of course, tomorrow I'm gonna be doing another live stream regarding smartphones. There's certain people that use iPhones and there's certain people that use Galaxy. So I'm gonna be talking about those type of people.
All right. Well, by the way, I'm more of an Android guy. I mean, I've had an iPad. I never had an iPhone. I've had an iPad, and it was okay. It was okay. The iPad, it was okay until it wasn't. Until it just stopped working, and I couldn't upgrade it on anything. But it was okay. It was a good device to use. But I like when with Androids, then I can actually connect it to the computer, and it's easier to take the data out, the pictures, audio, clips, things like that, and pass and connect it to the computer. It's just easier for me. It's just kind of like more ease of use, and I don't have to replace the phone every few months because I don't know. With iPhone users, they get a phone and a few months later they have to replace it with the next phone because apparently it's a it's a status symbol. Having the latest iPhone, it seems to be kind of like a status symbol or so, something to brag about or conversation starter, that type of thing. Me, I don't care. I can use the same phone for years, and I have. I have used the same phone for like 4 years or so before I have to replace it. And it's not that I can't afford a new phone sooner. It's because I just don't feel like it, and I don't even talk on the phone that much. So why do I need to keep replacing the phone?
Well, I have a Galaxy phone too. I mean, basically, I use the phone because basically, like I pay my bills online. I do my
Mm.
grocery shopping online and things
Mm.
of that nature. So
Yeah.
I know there's a newer phone out there, but I'm not that much in a hurry to upgrade. I'm
Yeah.
perfectly happy with the phone I have.
Right. Right. Yeah, yeah. I have mine, and I try to keep it updated. But I know the way that they're made, that the way that they're made, eventually there are gonna be phones. Uh, the way that they're designed to stop working at a certain point when you can't upgrade them anymore, and they don't work in the network anymore. They have a different frequency, or a, or the network gets updated, and your older phone becomes incompatible with it. So they force you to have to upgrade, even if you don't really need to. But
Yeah.
because they make changes technologically, then you have to adjust to it. So,
Yeah. Well,
uh,
in any case, thank you very much. I will take my leave, and as I say,
mhm.
good luck, good night, and until the next one.
Hey, thank you for coming up.
All
See
right,
you in the
take care.
next.
Have a good night, and shout out to everyone in the chat. Take care.
Yes, yes, appreciate it.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. And as you heard, if you haven't signed up, whoever haven't subscribed to Jose's channel, his channel is on Common Sense with Jose Negron. He is a more consistent content creator because I know that I can do a live stream, and then it's gonna be a few days before I bring my presence again. But he's basically almost every day, so I have to schedule things around him so it doesn't conflict with his live streams because he is more consistent, and that's a good thing. That's what that I need to take a cue off. I know I keep saying that, but I don't. I need to become more consistent, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So subscribe to his channel and hit the notification bell for all upgrade updates and live streams and whatever it is that he's got going on. Also, if you happen to be on this live stream because of the link that Jose posted on his wall, um, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell for um, all upcoming videos and live streams. And with that said, I should say, I can't talk. I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys that were in the chat making comments, particularly Armando, Titi, the short appearance by our friend Denise. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Um, I saw Johnny that I hadn't seen in a while. Of course, Herbie, greatly appreciated that you commented and you supported. I couldn't get Rakim in. I know that he was in the chat, but he couldn't be uh with us like that because the man is a working man, and I specifically told him like only come up only come up if it's safe for you because he's on the road doing his thing. So with that said, this was Introvert Boricua, and I want to say thanks to everybody for coming up. And until the next time, peace.